Alright, what's up guys? So on today's video, what I'm planning on doing is actually installing the bump steer kit on my Coyote swap new engine. And so, you see, we have most of the suspension done, and this is the last part. So for two reasons I got this. One, they always say lowering, and especially like changing the load can affect bump steer, so I figured why not get it. Two, it looks way better. And I guess a third reason that it actually came in handy is, so these bolts, they have those cotter pins that go through it and then a capsule nut. Well, when I was taking off my spindle, I think I took off my power steering rack first, because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep these spindles or not. But in taking that off, actually that cotter pin broke off inside of that bolt. And so the stud that sticks up, that the capsule nut will come down on, it has a pin that goes through it. And so that actually, the pin broke off. It was so rusted, it just kind of fell apart as I was trying to punch it out. It's actually on the driver's side, not the passenger side one. But with that, I pretty much can't get it off. So I have a couple of choices of either running without it, which I don't want to do, or, you know, replacing the spindle, which you're replacing that tie rod end, which I also don't want to do. I mean, if I'm going to replace it, may as well, for the price, get two, and then for the price of two, may as well get the bump steer kit. And so that's why I landed on the bump steer kit. So we can look at it. I have it right here. It so happens to be a pretty blue color as well to match the car. Not intentional. Of course, it doesn't match perfect, but hey, it's good enough. Maybe that was intentional. I don't remember if I got it, this one, because it was blue or if it was the only one in stock. Right now with COVID, damn near everything's out of stock. Sometimes you just take what you can get. Alright, so I think that's all that's in the box. Yep, so this is the bump steer kit in its full glory. And so I'm gonna take you through the full install of the bump steer kit. It should be a really quick video. First step, before I take these off, I already loosened these nuts. Basically, just remember this nut here is actually holding on your outer tie rod end. So this guy you'll actually have to turn right, not left, because left would be bringing it out. So turn it right, just enough to break it free. And I broke mine free, but I could probably turn it just a little bit more. And then, and you want to do that, of course, with this end, because if not, the tie rod's just going to twist. And then what you want to do before you take this off is measure, I guess, from the end of this tie rod to the center of this end right here. And so this little circle here, measure to the center of that. And so for mine, it's 5.5 inches. And so you'll need that because that's actually the distance you're going to want to set these to as you twist them out. Of course, if you're like me, I'm going to take this to an alignment shop and everything, so they'll probably tweak that even more, but at least just as a starting point to get the car back on the road, that's what I'm going to do. So between these and the caster camber plates, I'm sure there's a lot of adjustments that'll be done. I don't know how to do those adjustments, and so basically that's what we're going to do. We're going to send it out to the alignment shop, have them do it. But at least for, you know, test drives and things like that, we're going to want it at least close to good alignment, or at least factory alignment, and so that's what that's really going to get us. So that's what we're going to do today, is install this bump steer kit. So I'm going to actually take you through the step-by-step process. Like I said, I got my measurements down already. It's 5.5 inches on both sides, so I just wrote it down on a piece of paper. Keep up with that. Now I'm just going to take out the old tie rod end, show you how I set up the bump steer kit, and then put it back in. So it should be a really quick video. Thanks for watching. Let's get to it. pin, so you can actually see right through it. But on the other one, the pin is actually rusted all the way inside it. So let's get this guy to focus. So you can see, this is clear, you can see right through it. The other side of this, when we go to take that off, you'll see it's not like that. So it's all junked up with a rusty pin. So you need this because of the vibration. That bolt can back itself off, so this kind of keeps torque down on it, having that pin in there. So you do need it. So if yours is doing this, either get a new tie rod in, punch that guy out, or bump steer kit if you want to do that. All right, so our first step is actually to get this measurement from center to here, the same length as we measured for our tie rod. So I measured that at 5.5 inches. I mean, I guess theoretically you could just line them up and do it like that as well, but just measure it in advance if you can. So I measured at 5.5 inches, so that's where mine is. So now I just need to back this guy off a little bit. So I'm gonna back this guy off and make sure I get that right measurement. And then, so once you get the measurement you want, so you can kind of twist this body back, if you see. And so once you get the measurement you want, then you would just bring this nut down to lock it in place. Like I said, I think I had 5.5 inches, so shouldn't be anything too crazy. This is honestly probably too much right here, but we will see. So I just use a tape measure. And so today might actually be my lucky day. And this is actually pretty close. So I'll twist this up just a hair. And then I'll bring this guy down to lock it in place. And of course, you want to get a wrench on both of these and counter twist to kind of give it a really good lock. So I'll do that now. All right, so after you get it to the right measurement and get it dialed in, your next step is, of course, to put this back where you got the other one off. So we're just gonna go right here to our tie rod in and thread this guy back on. You wanna thread it right up to the nut, and then we're gonna bring the nut back down to its position. So we're gonna get it very close, because if you remember, we actually broke free this nut here and backed it off, this guy here. And so we're gonna wanna bring it in to that nut, not bring the nut down. And so we can go hand tight for now, and then we can come back with a couple of wrenches and get it where we want it. So this is straight up, and we'll bring the nut in from there. So 1 second. I actually can't move this guy, so I'll bring a wrench in right off the jump. All right, so after we run it up, this is what it looks like. And I did end up tightening this down with a wrench already, but really in case you need some play, I think is why they say leave it a little loose. But I couldn't really move it. So next up, we're actually gonna put our new stud in here. And so obviously, if you look at the old tie rod end, we have this ball joint and this stud coming out of it. Now basically, this is our stud. So I believe it'll go through our spindle like this, and then through our tie rod end. This bottom part, the thicker part, will go through the tie rod end. This top part will go through our spindle. It should be the exact size of our spindle, so we shouldn't have to do any, we don't have to do any like drilling out or anything, which is great. So it's gonna go in here, if you can see, and we're gonna come right up here and tighten that bolt back down. We're just gonna tighten that bolt and washer back down on here. And that's gonna be our new stud. Of course, it doesn't have the cotter pin in there, but that's fine because of the way this is with all these spacers and stuff. I may leave these spacers for now. I don't know. I'll just have to see how things fit. And I may just let the alignment shop handle what to do with these spacers because I don't know which ones they'll want, which ones they won't want. So I may just leave them all and let them sort it out. But let's get this installed. Alright, so the way we do these spacers is we'll try to keep our control arm semi-parallel to our tie rod end if we can. And so we'll see how many spacers we need to do that. I definitely feel like that's too high. I think it could be more like this, honestly. I think this is where I'm going to leave it in terms of spacers, and I'll give them the rest maybe to adjust it at the alignment shop. I think this is where I'm going to leave it. So I went ahead and tightened this guy up. Now I'm just going to make sure this is tight by using 2 wrenches instead of just the one I used, but it should already be pretty good. And then once I'm done with this, I'll just go to the other side, do the same thing.